Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryder, and this is a beginner's guide to Junkrat. In this video, we will go over the basic abilities and playstyle of Junkrat, so you can kind of jump into quick play and competitive and kind of have an idea of how the hero works without going in completely blind and just reading the tooltips and not really knowing what you're doing. Keep in mind, this is just a beginner's guide. It's not an advanced guide. In order to really master some of the heroes in Overwatch, you're going to have to play the hero pretty consistently and know how they work and know how they function, and what their strengths and weaknesses really are. This video, I'm just going to kind of go over a brief overview, some tips and tricks, strengths and weaknesses against certain heroes, and some combos you might be able to pull off with them, just to kind of get you started. As always, guys, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe in the video. If you have any further questions on anything, please leave a comment down below. And check the description down below where you'll see my Twitch link where I stream pretty regularly as well. But without further ado, let's jump into Junkrat. So Junkrat is a DPS hero, and he's one of my favorites. If you ever watch one of my streams, I have put in an ungodly amount of hours as Junkrat. Junkrat is so fun to play, but he is also very nuanced, and people think he's easy, but he has a couple of things you have to keep an eye on. First and foremost, he's a 200 health hero, just slightly above Tracer at 150, so he doesn't have a lot of health, which means if he's focused hard, he will get deleted pretty quick. That being said, he has a lot of tools to his advantage, one of which being his primary fire, which is his grenade launcher. With 5 shots in the grenade launcher, these bounce off of surfaces and then shortly after explode and do splash damage to anyone caught in the line of fire. These grenades, they do a lot of damage. Like, they do a lot of damage. You can just delete killers, you can delete tanks after a few of them. You want to try to land for direct hits, you can, but even if you don't land direct hits, you can splash damage them, as you can see right there. It's still going to take damage. They're still going to, take non-stop damage. To be completely honest, when it comes to Junkrat, hold the left click button down and don't let go. Okay, and while you're in the team fight, you just keep firing this thing off. The reload time you have is almost non-existent, and you will just be consistently causing hazards to the enemy team the entire time. Junkrat can be a very big nuisance because of his other abilities, one of which being his proximity mines. These mines, you have 2 charges for it. You throw them out, you right-click, and it goes off, and anybody caught in the blast will be knocked up in the air, knocked away, and take damage. These abilities, this mine is one of the most entertaining things for me. It's a good way to, if you land a hit on an enemy hero and they're harassing you, you can just throw a mine in their face and blast them into oblivion, and it'll destroy them. It does not damage Junkrat anymore. It used to way back in the day, but it doesn't. And as you just saw, you can also use it to propel yourself forward or onto higher distances so that you can get in position to kind of rain health from above. So yeah, your mines, very good tool. Don't forget to use them. It's literally 3 damage on a 2-charge ability. If you do use both of them, they are 7 seconds until the next one recharges. So it's not a very long cooldown on it. And these things are literally, it's free damage. Throw it into the team, blow people up. Use it defensively, use it offensively, use it for movement. The mines are one of the deadliest things that he has as well. And it can also knock some heroes out of position and allow your teammates to capitalize on some very nasty things. His other ability is his trap. Okay, now this little bear trap he throws out, it can be destroyed by the enemy team. It kind of blends in with the surroundings a little bit, but it can be seen if the enemy team is watching for it, and it can be destroyed. However, one change, if you played Junkrat in Overwatch 1, one change they made in Overwatch 2 is that the Junkrat used to, or the trap used to snare you in place, do damage, and keep you there. No longer does it do that. Now it snares you and basically slows you. You are slowed while the enemy is slowed in the trap, and he has to walk forward to break the trap, break out of the trap. If he wants to break out of the trap before I think it's like traps for like a few seconds. This right here is a great escape tool. If you're being chased, you can throw it in the doorway. Now they have to spend time killing the trap or run through it and get trapped, and then that allows you to come back in, throw a mine, bang, and blow them up. or just, you know, launch a grenade in their face and punish them for chasing you and stepping into your trap. Another fun little thing to do is area denial. You can throw it down, throw a mine in the trap, and whenever you see that alert saying that it's triggered, then you can just, boom, blow up the mine, and you'll probably delete some of the lower health heroes if they step into it. I've killed so many Lucios with that, it's not even funny. Now, the other ability he has is his passive, which is Total Mayhem, which is basically a kamikaze. When he dies, he drops a pool of grenades at his feet, and anybody caught in the blast will take damage. It's a very fun ability. It's not really anything that you can help in any way, but you know, it is a good way to get a revenge from the grave kind of kill. If you get killed on top of an enemy and they aren't smart enough to move out of your grenades you drop, they will die right after you. So that's just a passive ability. And then of course he has his ultimate, which is the Riptire. Now this move is deceptively tricky to pull off sometimes, because when you launch your Riptire, you launch it off. It has you have 10 seconds to find your target. It has 100 health, so it can be destroyed. But when you go off, boom, it will. You hit the left button, you left click button to your primary fire button to make it go off, and anybody caught in the direct blast will be destroyed. Just delete it. You can wipe an entire enemy team if you time it right. Now, the reason why I say it's a little tricky to pull off sometimes is because it only has 100 health. If the enemy team knows to focus the Riptire and you're not clever in where you launch it, you're going to waste your ult. You're going to launch it, and I've done that before. I've launched a Riptire. Next thing you know, they just delete the Riptire. It's very disheartening whenever it happens. So you want to be smart. You want to plan out where you're going to go with your tire. Keep in mind, when you launch your Riptire, you stay where you launched it, and you are completely incapacitated. So don't just launch it out in the middle of nowhere where an enemy can walk up and shoot you in the face, because you will not be able to defend yourself while you're controlling your tire, and you can come back to a dead body, which would be very, very troubling. Now, you know, as far as combos with the Riptire, there are a great many. You know, first of all, you know, Sombra's hack, EMP. She EMPs the team, you tire in, boom, done. Graviton Surge from Zarya, another good combo there. Orissa's ult, Mei's ult. You know, all of these things that slow people and keep them in a condensed area where you can get as much value from the Riptire as you can is what you want to kind of aim for. So communicate with your teammates and kind of plan those strategies to work together to really get the most value out of Riptire. But Junkrat's ult charge from his grenades and everything is relatively quick. So, you know, Riptire is something you can get multiple off in a fight. And so don't be afraid to, you know, if you notice you're the only one with the ult, don't hold on to it. Launch that fucking Riptire. Get into a good safe position and launch that puppy off. See if you can get some free hits, some free kills. One pick is all it takes to change the fight, okay? So if you're able to throw it in there and you pick a healer off, hey, now your team has advantage. Obviously, you want to go for the fat pog plays with the Riptire and try to drop, you know, 3-4 people at one time. It's not always going to happen. But, you know, that doesn't belong to it. You know, definitely should. Now, as far as, like, weaknesses and strengths, Junkrat is very strong against shields. So Reinhardt, Sigma, both of them, Winston, anything with a shield, these grenades, they'll rip through those shields. So don't refuse to fire into a shield. You are the shield buster. You are the one who will break through the shield and help your team put pressure on the tanks and on the team. He is also very, very strong against anything that has a low health pool that's slower. So like Mei kind of struggles a little bit against Junkrat just because of the fact that he can fire these from a distance. He can get away from her pretty easily, and he can throw traps down to get away from her, and all of her primary fire is kind of null and void. Weaknesses, Junkrat does have a few weaknesses. You know, anything airborne, Pharah, Echo, both of those are very deadly to him because those grenades do not hit airborne very easily. Genji and Tracer can be kind of a pain in the ass to Junkrat just because his rate of fire, whereas annoying, is not fast in any way. So, you know, if Tracer and Genji, if you go up against a really good one, they will just harass you and you won't be able to land anything. You know, anything with going to be a problem for Junkrat, because he is not a fast hero. He is just a splash damage. I call him the meme.
That's why I'm famous.
But you know, a couple of little tricks with Junkrat that I've learned. I already went over the one with the mine and the trap. One of which as well. This is how I'll do in some competitive matches if I notice that they don't have a whole lot of burst damage. You want to be careful doing what I'm about to do. If you see your enemy team, or if you see enemy team, you can drop your mine, launch in, and fire grenades while you're dropping in. Drop in, rain hell. They start to focus you, drop a trap, drop a mine, and use it to propel yourself back out and back to your team. You'll see this in competitive play a lot if you ever watch my streams. I do this a lot to punish the enemy team if they're not being very bursty and don't have very high damage output. I can launch in there, drop my trap, launch out, and not only am I jumping in, launching grenades, causing damage, dropping a trap, causing someone in the general vicinity to get trapped, and then dropping a mine and launching myself out, causing more people to get knocked out, more damage to go out as well. So all of that is just straight chaos that's going onto the field. I'm throwing a trap down on the point that, to be completely honest, they probably won't notice because they're focused on the Junkrat that's in their face launching grenades. I'm throwing mines down that's going to knock them into the air, pushing them out of position, and I'm getting out at the same time. And even if they manage to pick me off, I've already caused chaos in that vicinity, and I've dropped grenades all over the point by my kamikaze move of the total mayhem. So now you've done, you know, splash damage from that, splash damage from the grenades, a trap in the field. Like, if you're smart about it and you're quick, don't overstay your welcome. Again, he has 200 health, he'll get melted pretty quick. But jump in, launch, drop the trap, launch, out. And, like, you can do that over and over again with your 2 charges of mines. You really harass the enemy team. It's gutsy, it's a little bit challenging. If you see yourself getting picked off a lot, don't do it. You know, he gets just as much value from a range as he does, you know, getting up close like that. Another tip that I would kind of give is with the trap, don't be afraid to use this offensively. When you're pushing in on the point or you're in the middle of a team fight on a point, throw that trap down. Throw it down. There's no reason not to. It's a little bit of damage to the enemy if they get caught into it, but most and foremost, it will trap them in place, allowing a free, easy kill if your teammates capitalize or you capitalize on it. So do not neglect using your trap in a team fight and throwing it down on cooldown when you're in the middle of a team fight and staying alive, because it is an easy way to really screw up somebody that's not paying attention to where they're standing. But with that, guys, that is the guide to Junkrat. If you guys have any questions or anything, please feel free to post them in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the video, stuff like that. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video or in stream. Till the next video, peace out and thanks for watching.